So let's have a look at this. This is on, we're not going to show this full story on CNN. I just wanted us all to have a look at this complete buffoon not be able to pronounce the names of the medication that he is saying causes autism in children, or well, in pregnant women. So have a listen to this first of all, and then actually One News has got a story on it, which we'll go and have a look at.
First, effective immediately, the FDA will be notifying physicians that the use of well, let's see how we say that. Acetaminophen. Is that okay? Which is basically commonly known as Tylenol.
Yeah, I know that one.
During pregnancy can be associated
with
a very...
I'm sure you're aware of this, but it's paracetamol. What we have is paracetamol.
Increased risk of autism. So taking Tylenol is not good. All right, I'll say it. It's not good.
He's such a fucking idiot. I'm sorry. He's just such a fucking idiot. But I tell you what, Tylenol, whoever the company is that owns Tylenol, though I bet you anything you like, that their lawyers are loaded up for tomorrow morning, because the president's come out saying that the company that makes the paracetamol in America, Tylenol, there's evidence it's causing autism in babies if it's taken during pregnancy, which is completely false. I mean, you know that, I know that, but I want to put it out there to start with. So let's have a look at the whole story from One News, and then we'll have a chat about it.
Health experts say Donald Trump's comments linking paracetamol use in pregnancy with autism is the worst kind of scaremongering. They say pregnant women shouldn't fear taking the medication, as there's no scientific evidence to support the claims.
No shit.
Demelza Leslie reports.
Paracetamol, which is known as Tylenol in the US, is considered the only safe over-the-counter option for pain or fever for pregnant women. But Donald Trump claims it's linked to autism, and pregnant women with fevers should tough it out.
Tylenol during pregnancy can be associated with...
It's funny that TVNZ didn't show that piece with him not being able to say the words. It's like a bunch of the American network showed it. But TVNZ was being somewhat polite. I don't know why, but I guess editing decision maybe.
A very increased risk of autism. So taking Tylenol is not good.
Experts here have slammed the comments as dangerous and untrue.
Apart from being crazy, I guess it's also really concerning, because this is incredibly disruptive. And of course, it's not true.
Petersis Harris says not treating a fever can harm both the fetus and pregnant person.
The myth about the MMR vaccine, for example, that was incredibly distressing for parents when they...
One of the conversations that's come of this, which is incredibly fair and valid, is people who have autism or who are in the autism community are like, we don't need to be fixed. Like, it's a really disrespectful, disgusting thing to say, we could make you a better person. They've got some advocates in the story as well, but it's just, when you think about it, it's just gross.
Thought that they maybe had done something terrible.
The Ministry of Health says its advice on the use of paracetamol in pregnancy has not changed. In a statement, it says paracetamol can...
I didn't know Paul Henry worked for them. I don't know what Paul Henry's doing. Paul Henry, Minister of Chief Health Science Advisor. I don't know what he's all about, but he's got a new gig from the looks of things.
Continues to be the safest medicine to take in pregnancy if you require pain relief or treatment for fever. Autism is a neurodevelopmental condition. Around 159,000 Kiwis have it, and Autism New Zealand says more people are being diagnosed because of increasing awareness.
To imply that we should be trying to stop having autistic people be born is a problem in itself. We do advocate for research, obviously, and obviously I think the more information you have, the better, but most of that research should be based on how best to help people live the life that they want to live.
Mm-hmm. Donald Trump also claims a cancer treatment drug can treat autism.
It's more to do with politics and the desire to discredit institutions, scientists, health professionals as part of a broader political agenda.
An agenda some say has been playing out for some time that could have long-term consequences. Demelza Leslie, One News.
Thanks, Demelza. So there you go, Jared. What do you? I mean, like it's in this day and age, these conversations are still happening. What do we think? What are your thoughts, sir?
Well, two things. One is it's batshit. It's basically disinformation, and disinformation is really damaging because people swallow it. Some people do. No pun intended when it comes to Panadol, but the facts, versus the belief. And the other second thought I have is that I thought that Trump talked about another drug you should probably prefer to have as a treatment than Panadol. And then I started thinking, is this actually sort of like a big pharma gig in the background where you're actually favoring a particular pharmaceutical company over the other one? So your comment about a legal battle coming from this is probably right on. So those two sort of factors. What are the dynamics? Why do you do this? If what is the political game to attack the medical scientific community and feed more disinformation like this? Is there something at the end of it, like, if we can bring out this drug rather than that one? So those are my top level thoughts anyway on what we're seeing.
So this might be the drug you're talking about, Licoravin, the drug that Trump administration says can treat autism. The US government has announced controversial guidance on the prevention and treatment of autism in children. New health recommendations aim to discourage pregnant women from taking the painkiller paracetamol, Tylenol, to prevent autism. The recommendations also include using the drug Licoravin to treat speech-related difficulties that children with autism sometimes experience. And then the story goes on to what is that drug, which we won't necessarily get into. Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, so the conspiracy theory would say he's trying to drive people away from Tylenol to this other one who may be a funder, or maybe his sons have just bought a whole bunch of shares in that company.
You're fake news.
Yeah.
Fake news.
Yeah. It's a weird one, because we've heard this from anti-vaxxers for 30 years about how this drug can cause autism, and then we found out that the person, well, we didn't find out, it's been knowledge for a long time, the person who wrote the report about this drug causing autism then recounted his own research saying he'd done it wrong, yet people still hold on to it. So the danger of this is you are going to have his supporters just now basically believe this. This is why there's so many more kids with autism, because their mothers have been taking paracetamol, Tylenol. But then again, I can't imagine the use of Tylenol has increased in the last 20 years. Paracetamol has increased in the last 20 years. So I don't get it. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's totally crazy. I'm with the MedSafe and the medical people here. Just swiftly kind of stamp this stuff out, because we saw it all in COVID, and we still are dealing with people that are under the wrong factual paradigm, and this is how they create it. So the world doesn't need this.
It would be interesting. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. I sometimes do things live when we're talking, but maybe I'll do it tomorrow to have a look at some of those conspiracy theorists in New Zealand who follow that American lead, the disinformation dozen, they call them in New Zealand, and see what they're saying today. Because I love Occam's razor, right? The fewest number of assumptions to get a likely outcome. I think it's a really strong. I have no Occam's razor for this. Like, why would he say that? What's the point? Like, what? I mean, even if it is a big pharma thing, like, he's a billionaire. He doesn't need them. He's not going to go to a cushy job afterwards. He's not going to have a job. There seems to be no reason that I can see, no logical reason, no steps from, like, even in a worst case scenario, this might be why, as opposed to he's just got verbal diarrhea. He thinks he knows everything. Someone brain farts an idea out to him before he walks into that room and he repeats it. It's like one of those, those cactuses. and there's all the videos about those cactuses in front of babies, and the baby goes, and the cactus goes, because it records it and plays it back. He's like a 6-foot version of one of those. If you say into his ear, he just repeats it again. That's the only thing that I think would be logical around this.
You know, when Kennedy was going for that appointment and he was facing the scrutiny, you know, that you have to go to those hearings, there was a lot there that was brought up. I think it was Bernie Sanders that was challenging him about his past beliefs, and he was recounting a lot of them. But he's the kind of character that will kind of embrace something without a great deal of evidence or factual, you know, critical thinking. And I'm just sort of wondering if the game here is that Kennedy's, you know, brought this to the attention of Trump, and between the two of them, you know, you've got this toxic recipe where there's just not much factual. The Occam's razor, you know, thing you mentioned there, the most simple, obvious conclusion is possibly vacant space, you know, like people that aren't very critical minded, believing what they're handed. And yeah, it could just be as simple as being a little bit gullible.
Thick.
Yeah.
For people who don't know what I was talking about, these are these videos all over TikTok and stuff. So Donald Trump is the cactus. That's what. There you go. There's Donald Trump. Okay, video editors out there, start working on a little Donald Trump cactus and a baby, and email it to us. We'll put it up. Yeah, I actually think you're right about Kennedy is a real danger in that group. You know, any man who does exercise in his genes is a danger. Full stop. We should just accept that straight away. But yeah, I think we all know that Trump is not very smart. And if someone says something loudly or with confidence, he'll believe it to be the truth. So maybe that's the Occam's razor. He's the cactus has heard from Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and he's spitting it out afterwards. Because, I mean, like in his White House, could you imagine an aide go, "Hey, Mr. President, this is bullshit. You know, you sound like an idiot. This is complete bullshit. You realize that?" I just can't imagine that happening.